brothers, but not by birth. Family, but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. 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 Ghostbusters.
Dave, wait. Time out.
What?
Two things. First, you, sir, are not allowed to sing until January. At this point, if we don't get more comments, because we got the two required comments, Young Santa and UA Mommy, thank you, Susie, decided to drop a comment, which means you don't sing until January. So, A, stop it right now. Sir. And B, Ghostbusters is later in the show.
Wait. You can't do that.
What?
No, you said one, and then B?
Have you ever watched Home Alone?
Yes, I have.
There you go. So Ghostbusters is later in the show. We have a really cool interview to play first. So not only can you not sing, you're jumping the gun. So calm down. No deep breath leading into song. Not going to happen for a month.
Actually, 2 weeks.
Everybody should see the shame and disappointment on his face.
We're taking Christmas off, right?
Well, I think that what we're leaning towards now is like we won't release something Christmas and New Year's week, but we'll package a bingeable thing.
Actually, we haven't made that poll yet.
You haven't made that poll yet?
So go ahead and tell them, because people might not have watched the Facebook Live last night.
That is true. So we have a question we're going to pose to everybody. Our social media manager, social, it's so great. Our social media manager, our social media manager, Dave Adams, will post this out on our Facebook page for all of our valued listeners. Do you guys want content to drop weekly the week of Christmas and New Year's like we typically do, one a week? Or should we save that and drop a bingeable packet of 3 episodes right after the first of the year? And what we got, the comments we got were, please give me something bingeable. I think Blair also said, give me something bingeable. I think we need a full-on poll to get a good pulse check of what we should.
So let me ask this. Was Blair's because she doesn't want you recording on New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve?
Blair's is, well, we can schedule around that. Blair's is that she is not going to have a lot of time to listen while the kids are home from school anyway. Because she usually listens when she's running or taking the dog for a walk, that kind of stuff. So she would rather have them for when school is back in session. That was her thing.
Okay. So, by the way, we are 2.5 minutes into this, and we haven't done this yet. Golden Voice of the South, Human Jukebox, Dave Adams.
That's you.
All the way from the top of the state of Alabama, Madison, Alabama.
Where it's currently doing what?
Where it's snowing. Because the weather outside is frightful.
Enjoy that.
But the fire inside is so delightful.
The fire inside.
And since we've no place to go, let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. I didn't sing.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go like slow jam. Like, right? Is that what they call it?
I know. I did spoken word poetry.
Spoken word poetry. Well, snaps to you, sir.
Anyway, phenomenal brother.
That's me.
All the way from the House of Mouse.
Yep. Where it's currently 75.
Yeah, it's 30. It's according to Mickey Mouse on my watch. It's 32 degrees right now.
Wow.
St. Cloud, the middle of Florida. The middle of America's wing.
That can't be a thing.
Why not?
It can't be a thing. It can't. It just can't.
What does Florida look like on the map to you?
What does I think the last person to leave a comment, the actual comment was, I love listening to this show with my kids. So
very true.
That's the last time we'll bring that one up.
So let's also say this. If you love listening to this show with your kids, something else you should love is the content that Adam was able to get for us this week.
Aw. Thanks, Dave. So this week I was able to secure Ben Penrod, who is running a Comic-Con here in Central Florida in Lakeland in January, the 18th and the 19th, and you'll hear all the details during the interview. But we were looking through some of the guests, and it turns out that some of his stuff not only is a Comic-Con in my area we were interested to learn more about the guy who runs it, but there's a pretty big wrestling overlap, which Dave totally geeked out about, especially in pre-show. He held it together a little bit better on the real show, but
I mean, he said the word wrestling.
He did, and I lit up like a Christmas tree. So yeah, I'll play that now, guys. This is Ben Penrod from Central Florida Comic-Con. All right, everybody. This week we have the distinct honor of welcoming on a special guest new to the podcast, Ben from the Central Florida Comic-Con. It's a show that's going to happen this coming January here in Lakeland. I'll let Ben do all the talking about it, but he can say it much better than I can what's going on with that. But we have been talking to him for a few weeks now, trying to get him on the show. We actually made the time work out. It's an event we're excited about because it's close to my hometown. I'm trying to figure out how to get Dave to come down to Central Florida to experience it himself. So we'll see if we can't figure that out. But Ben, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, so why don't you give us a little bit of background on Central Florida Comic-Con, when and where, how it got started, what your role is with all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I've been running Comic-Cons for since 2011. So I've got some shows in Maryland. I started Awesome Con in Washington, D.C. I've got 2 shows in Florida now, and then I've got a show in Alaska also. So wow. I got a bunch of different shows I'm running. So I started Central Florida Con. This year was our first one in January. The next one is January 18th to 19th. It's at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. It's going to be so much fun. We had about 3,000 people out at the first one, and I expect it to be just a little bit more than that this year. We're going to have a little bit of growth, I think.
So Ben, talk to me about putting it in Lakeland. Most people, that Lakeland, if I'm seeing my geography correct, is right in between Orlando and Tampa. So why not put it in Orlando or Tampa? Why Lakeland?
So there are a million shows in Orlando and Tampa already, and Lakeland has the RP Funding Center, which is this amazing, beautiful facility that actually has a lot of history. And since the first time I went there, probably 2014 or 2015, I've wanted to run an event there because whenever I see a really cool venue that I don't feel like is being used right, or doesn't have something like a Comic-Con there. Mm-hmm. Then I try to think of a cool way to put something there. But so I really like the venue. It's a cool little convention center attached to an arena and a theater, and it works really great for what we're doing. And eventually we'll probably be able to grow into taking over the arena as well.
Yeah, that works out well for me. My parents live in Lakeland, so I'm just going to crash with them.
Perfect.
During the show. So awesome. I love it. Yeah, it's a great space. I've been there for a couple of things too. So what can folks expect from this year's event? What are some of the things you'll be offering, whether it's headliners or just some of the content on the floor? What kind of stuff you got lined up?
Yeah, so the first thing everybody always asks us about is celebrity guests. So this year we've got Jason David Frank, we've got Cooper Andrews from Walking Dead, we've got Aaron Zeck from Ruby and Red vs. Blue. We've got a lot of comic guests coming in yet. I haven't announced all of our comic guests yet, but we'll have them out probably this week. We've got a few more celebrity guests lined up. We've got a wrestling show, and then we've got all of our panels, tabletop gaming, costume contests, all that kind of stuff. All the dealers and vendors, the dealer booths and artist alley tables are selling much faster than last year, and we sold out last year. So I was able to squeeze in a few more booths this year, and so hopefully, it will still sell out, but we'll be able to have a better selection than we even had last year, and I thought it was pretty good last year.
So wrestling, you say?
Yeah.
You have Dave's full attention now.
I'm listening.
Yeah, so I'm running I've got a promotion in that I've been running in Orlando called Nerd Street Wrestling, and So I figured since we've got the building for our setup day on January 17th, then I'll take over one of our panel rooms, and we'll run a wrestling show there. So the cool thing is that this building is very historic when it comes to wrestling. This is a place that in like the 70s and 80s, there were huge wrestling matches. Actually, last year we had Brian Blair was at the con, and from the Killer Bees. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Killer Bees, but so he was at the con, and we were talking about the RP Funding Center, which used to be called the Lakeland Civic Center, and he was talking about how they would run the same venues every week, but they'd only run Lakeland like once a month because that was like a big show, because they didn't have, Orlando and Tampa weren't really built up the way that they are now with they weren't huge cities. So Lakeland was like the what they called the quote unquote the blow off town, which is where they did like the big matches, and everybody they have big title changes and stuff like that, and like Dusty Rhodes would main event there. So it's a cool thing. I also looked up, so the arena has also had so many cool concerts and stuff there. Like they had in the 80s, Motley Crue ran it with Guns N' Roses opening for them.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so this is like such a cool venue.
That's GNR awesome. wasn't headlining; they were opening for Motley Crue.
Yeah, this would have been like right when Appetite had first dropped. So this would have been like 1986, 1987, wow. I guess. Wow. So they would have been brand new, and Motley Crue would have been the coolest thing going at the time. So they would have headlined this big arena, and like Aerosmith and Kiss had played there. All sorts of huge bands have run this place, because back before there were pro sports teams in Tampa and Orlando, they didn't have the arena. And since Lakeland's right in between Tampa and Orlando, then if you were running a world tour, you'd want to stop right in the middle and get both towns. Yeah. And there's plenty of people in Lakeland too, so it works out really well. That's
cool. So tell me a little bit about booking Frank, because he's not exactly a small name. He's the Green Ranger. I mean, that's the guy that when you think of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the original one, we know that he was kind of a late add-on, but the original 5, no one really knows their name except the Pink Ranger, because she was everybody's first crush. But but talk to me about getting him on the show.
Yeah, so we have I've worked with him before, so I booked him for Awesome Con in Washington D.C. And so I kind of reached out and I was like, hey man, I think you'd be a great fit for the show I'm doing in Lakeland, and he's filming I think he's filming a movie or something, and so he had to like check his schedule, make sure it all worked out, but he was able to squeeze us in, and it's going to be a really cool time. I'm super hyped to have him coming. That's cool. Are you going to try to get him involved in the NerdCon wrestling? Or the Nerd Street wrestling? I don't know. I did bring it up with him. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if he goes for it or not. But I know he's been dealing with some injuries. He's very active in mixed martial arts. Right. So I know he's always keeping in good shape though. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll want to do it. That's cool. It sounds like a good show lined up. But if you go back, how'd you first get involved? So you've got shows spread out now across the country. Yeah, so how'd you first get into it? Yeah, I grew up in Maryland. So I started the Annapolis Comic-Con in 2011. And that was just, my hometown where I grew up. And I had been selling comics, buying and selling collections, and setting up at conventions all over the place. So, I was like, I'll just run this little show in Annapolis. It'll be fun. And then that show went really well, and I really loved it. And I was like hooked on running shows. And so I started I started promoting it before I ran the Annapolis show, but we started a show in Waldorf, Maryland called the Southern Maryland Comic-Con. And both of those shows are still running today. They're not huge. They're like, 800, 1,000 people. I do them once a year, and they're really fun little shows, no celebrities or anything like that. Just a good time. And then I started Awesome Con in Washington, D.C. in 2013. And that's one of the biggest shows in the world right now. It's over 80,000 people every year.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not really involved in it day to day anymore. I still am a minority owner, but that's a huge operation, and I got kind of burned out for running a big show like that, so I took a step back, and so that's why I'm not really involved in that one anymore. And then so I started Central Florida Con this year, and then I just launched a Kickstarter for a new show called StarCon, which is going to be in Orlando next year in September, and StarCon's going to be kind of my take on a hotel con. So, some of my favorite shows are Dragon Con, KatsuCon, MagFest, Holiday Matsuri, Spooky Empire, things that are in a hotel, and everybody just kind of like lives in this hotel for a weekend and has like a huge party. And so this is kind of my take on a hotel con like that. I think StarCon's going to be really, really fun. I don't need it to be super huge. I just want it to be like the most fun anybody's had. Nice. And so I've been working really hard on that. The Kickstarter is running right now. We'll see if we make it to the goal or not. We're going to be cutting it really close, but it's going to be the show will happen either way. It's going to be super fun.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
It says on the post that that's over by Universal. Is that where you?
Yeah. So it's going to be the DoubleTree Hotel right next to Universal.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then,
so while you're on the subject of that, Ben,
yeah,
let's get into the weeds of people who are listening to us aren't Comic-Con people, and they don't know the difference. I mean, they hear about San Diego Comic-Con every year, and they know that's when the Marvel movie or the Star Wars movies, or that's when the big trailers of everything hits. And they know about Dragon Con because that's always the opening of football season, and Dragon Con are all the same. Talk to me about the difference between a hotel con and Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, and what you're doing at Central Florida and Awesome Con and all that stuff.
Yeah, so the difference, so something like Central Florida Comic-Con is more of like a day event. We do run some after hours stuff, and it's something that you can make a whole weekend out of. But we have a lot of people who most of the people who come in for that show, the attendees, are just coming in. They just drive in, they hang out, they come in their cosplay, they meet some celebrities, they buy from the vendors, they attend some panels, they might join the costume contest or watch the costume contest. Then they drive home, and they come back the next day and do it all over again. And maybe have a new cosplay for Sunday that they didn't have for Saturday. And the difference from that to something that's more like hotel focused would be that you'd come in and you'd stay at the hotel, and you don't have to stay at the hotel, but you're going to be spending more time there, and you're more involved in the panels. There's celebrities and there's vendors and stuff like that, but there's more focus on the after hours activities. Like I just talked to one of our guests for StarCon today about possibly doing a burlesque show after hours. And then, there's probably going to be a really cool after party with, dancing and drinking involved. And there's going to be, maybe we'll plan some sort of excursion over to Universal, since Halloween Horror Nights will be that time of year.
Oh. Yeah.
So
awesome.
And from that hotel, you can walk to Universal.
Yeah.
And
what weekend is StarCon?
So it's September 25th through the 27th of 2020.
So the past 2 years, Dave's actually come down. That's right around my birthday.
Oh, sweet.
And so Dave's come down for Halloween Horror Nights. So
that might be that
third
weekend.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah. So
and this is Horror Nights 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get the frequent fear pass. I'm just there. Like, I think I went over 20 times this year.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So
all right. So let's go down a tangent on Horror Nights real quick.
All right.
So what was your favorite house and why?
Oh, shoot. I liked Ghostbusters because it was Ghostbusters. It was like walking through the movie. Yeah. I also, if you're talking about like an original, like non-licensed house, I liked Yeti.
Really?
I really liked Yeti. And then I also liked Us a lot because I watched the movie for the first time right before I went into the house, and it really freaked me out.
Yeah.
See, Us didn't really get me. Maybe it's just because, well, okay, so I'm spoiler man, and I watched all the walkthroughs before we went through the house.
True. Every time.
And so I knew exactly where all the scares were coming.
Yeah.
But I thought Gladiator, the Gladiator...
Blood Pit. Nightingale's
Blood Pit was my favorite non-IP house, just because I'm a history guy.
Yeah.
And so walking through Roman times was awesome for me.
Yeah. Yeah, me and my wife both ranked us much, much higher than Dave did, but we went through it, watched the movie, and then did it again. It was better the second time after seeing the movie. It was just faithful to the story.
Yeah, I knew that I couldn't go through it without seeing the movie first, and then I watched the movie one night, and then the next night I went through the house, and that messed me up, man. It was like I expected like to look at, I expected like myself to come out in front of me in like a red suit, and I've been like, no.
Well, that's awesome. Well, so tell me go through the life of a Comic-Con host or Comic-Con, whatever you call yourself, promoter.
Yeah, promoter.
To borrow a wrestling term. So January is your Super Bowl, I guess. But if you're anything like most promoters I know in wrestling, the day after, so January 19th, you're already working for 2021, right?
Yeah, to an extent. So I've got another 2 shows. So right now is kind of I'm in like a 5-month long Super Bowl. So I've got I had a show in November in Maryland, and then December is just promote, and then January I've got Central Florida Con. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks after that, I'm in Fairbanks, Alaska for the first ever Alaska Comic-Con, which is going to be really, really cool. But that's going to be
cool or cold?
It's going to be very cold. It's going to be the coldest con ever. But
nice.
But it's if you're in Fairbanks in February, you ain't got anything else to do except come to this show. So that's great. And then 2 weeks after that. No, 3 weeks after that is my Annapolis Comic Con in March, and then I'm gearing up for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I've always got my eye on the next thing. I'm always kind of working on the next show. The cool thing about these shows right now is, unlike Awesome Con, which is just this crazy beast with probably their cycles like 15 months. So you start working on the next show before the next show has even happened. But my cycle for these shows isn't too big, so I don't have to really do too much worrying about them right off the bat. I just want to secure my dates before too long, and then I can worry about everything else, over the summer when I got a little bit more time.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, so tell people, we hadn't really talked much about if people are in the Central Florida area in January, the 18th and 19th, how can they get tickets? Yep. What's the process for all this?
Yeah, so you go to centralfloridacomiccon.com, and there's ticket links all over the website. And you can buy your tickets now. If you can buy tickets at the show too, but it's just quicker to buy them now because you can get in real quick that way. They don't cost any different online or at the show. They might be a little bit more at the show, but they'll go up online too. There's early buy discounts that are, I don't know the whole, I don't remember exactly how I plugged them in, but if buying earlier is better.
Yeah.
But you can still buy them on the site, doesn't matter. But but yeah, you just go to the website. We've also got all of our guests listed on the website. We've got, all the information on how to get there. There's a Google Maps link. It's if you want to participate in our programming, which you'd have to get that in pretty soon, but you can submit a form if you want to run a panel or something like that. If you're a member of a press or like you guys, there's a press submission form. So I have all your information, all that kind of stuff's on the website. And you can, easily get in touch with us. And, everybody who emails me, I email them right back usually.
Yeah. What about if we want to do a live broadcast from the floor of Central Florida Comic Con?
Yeah, we could probably set that up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we already talked about it or not, but yeah.
I filled out the paperwork. We're waiting to hear back, right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to put you on the spot. I mean,
right
we got the guy. Yeah, we got the guy we need to talk to right here. So, well, Ben, we appreciate you coming on. You are it seems like a very, very busy guy. And so to spend 20 minutes with us two weirdos, we really appreciate you coming on and talking with us.
No problem, dudes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ben. And hey, if they can't get you on the website, which they should, but go ahead and throw out your Twitter handle, your Instagram handle if you've got one. And
so we are on Twitter. We're at Central FLA Con. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Central Florida Comic Con. And then on Instagram, I think we're also Central FLA Con. I tried to keep it the same.
That's great. All right, Ben. Well, like I said, we appreciate you coming on. And hey, hopefully we can make this an annual thing. And we'll have you on next year when you're ready to promote for 2021.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Ben.
So that's it, everybody. Take a second, visit his socials, visit the Comic-Con's webpage, their Facebook page. Lots of good info out there if you're interested about how you can attend. And take a look at all of the shows Ben talked about, because no matter where you are in the country, it seems like there might be a show that's in your general vicinity that might work for your scheduling.
You say that, but he's got Maryland,
yeah.
He's got Annapolis,
yeah.
He's got DC, he's
yeah.
got Florida.
Yeah.
So that's great on the East Coast up there near Pennsylvania.
It is.
And then he's got Florida.
Yeah.
Like we said, that's down for you.
Yeah.
And then he's got Alaska.
Okay. So California,
where we don't have any listens yet.
California, Washington, and Oregon, they can head up to Alaska. That's like a 3-hour drive.
We don't have any listens in Alaska.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. That's not a 3-hour drive. But when we look at our... I'm telling our audience...
You can't do it.
Nope. Did you almost sing again? There should be a penalty.
Did.
Wait. Okay. Forget the geography of the United States. We're totally dropping that topic and moving on to the fact that there needs to be a penalty if you sing. Because I don't post-prod anything out, hardly anything ever out of here. There needs to be a penalty. So I need everybody, when you hear this, I need you to go on our Facebook page, Unrelated at Birth, or the listener group, preferably the main page so everybody can see it. And I want to know everybody's thoughts on exactly what the penalty should be if Dave sings. I need to know what your thoughts are, because there has to be one. Because you are going to do it, and you can't stop it, and you must be punished.
Well, how are you going to punish me? You are 10 hours away from 11 hours away from me.
But I'm opening up to our audience of what they would like to see happen. And if our audience comes up with a great idea of maybe how you should punish yourself.
Flogging? Public flogging?
I don't know. Uncomfortable Facebook Live situations, wearing an Auburn hat out in public.
A month without Disney?
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
What, a month without Disney?
No, an Auburn hat out in public.
You shut your face.
Huh.
Young Santa.
Yeah, that's me. You caught me. I left my own comment.
You caught the tater.
You caught me. All right, so that's only one idea, guys. I need to know comments from everybody. I don't care if you're in a random situation where you just happen across our podcast. This is the first time you've ever heard it and you have no idea who we are. I need you to tell me how we can punish Dave. We've already seen that an Auburn hat out in public on Facebook Live evidently hurts. So I think we've started the ball rolling on some pretty good ideas here.
What if I can't go to Disney until March?
That's a decision that your wife makes for you. That's not really a punishment because you can't do anything to stop that.
And I can get in the car and drive 10 hours and go to Disney.
You could?
No. Hashtag things I can say when Amanda's not here.
Hashtag punishments for Dave. I need you to put it out there and put that hashtag on it. And let's get this trending.
Twitter. Hashtag punishments for Dave.
I love it.
There you go. All right. So why did I start singing the song at the beginning that you stopped me on this week, Adam?
There was a pretty big trailer that dropped that I think a lot of people were looking forward to. Ghostbusters Afterlife has dropped its first, I won't say first trailer, because there was kind of that teaser with the barn.
This was the first trailer.
This is the first time we've seen any real footage, though.
Yeah, this was the first trailer. Yeah. The first one was a teaser.
Okay, thank you.
Get your
Thank you, Merriam-Webster.
I mean, I am apparently the geek on this show because you didn't know that Jason David Frank did wrestling.
That's not a... Well, okay. Knowing dictionary definitions is more being a nerd than a geek, but Mr. Definition Man...
You also told me that you probably wouldn't know who the Red Ranger was if you saw him out in public.
I wouldn't know who the Red Ranger was. I did not watch a lot of Power Rangers. I'm sorry. I didn't. That doesn't mean that I can't learn about it, though.
Okay.
I tell you what, why don't you do like you did for wrestling when you tried to introduce me to wrestling and you showed me, what was it? Firefly Funhouse?
Firefly Funhouse.
And that was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Pick the most obscure episode of Power Rangers, then let's start there.
Okay.
That will be what you can introduce me to it.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, they dropped the trailer, Dave. You actually got on Facebook Live yesterday wearing a Ghostbusters t-shirt because you were so excited.
Dude,
so give us your thoughts.
You have no idea. So I like the fact that they're bringing in a new generation of Ghostbusters. And so Paul Rudd says that there has been no ghost activity for the past 30 years. Take that, all-female-led Ghostbusters. You are not in canon anymore.
I didn't.
You are not canon.
Wow.
So they basically just destroyed the what's her name?
Kate McKinnon and
all that Ghostbusters that's not canon anymore in the Ghostbusters trilogy now. I do like the fact that Will from Stranger Things is in it because a lot of Ghostbusters fans in Stranger Things Season 2, Episode 2, I think it was, that was the Ghostbusters that we all wanted to see. So I love the fact that we're getting to see Will in a Ghostbusters setting. I also love the fact that Will is retconned as Egon's grandson. And that's how we're going to get probably Venkman and how we're going to get Dan Aykroyd and all the other cast in. What I will be upset about, if you don't give me Slimer, I will be so mad. Slimer better be in this movie. So, Adam, tell me your thoughts that we know are going to be very controversial because you said it on the live feed last night.
I did. Yeah, I didn't let the whole cat out of the bag, but at least you know it's a cat. Meow. Thank you. How Michelle Pfeiffer of you. I have no doubt. Okay, if we get 2 more comments, Dave will never do that again. That was so. I have no doubt. Oh God Almighty! So now instead of singing, it's meowing. What does the fox say, Dave? So I have no doubt that they are going to stay very true to the original Ghostbusters storylines because they actually quote Venkman. And it sounds like it might even, I don't know if it's him or Paul Rudd, but they actually quote him in it and borrow a line from the original Ghostbusters in it. And it is, the characters are there, the story seems there. I think the problem that I have, and I'm hoping it's just the first trailer, is it feels like, whereas Season 2, Episode 2 of Stranger Things, the kids wore the Ghostbusters costume to trick-or-treat. This feels like they took Ghostbusters and brought Stranger Things into it, yet again, with Super 8, E.T., Goonies, the typical 80s trope of the kids can do everything and they save the day. That shot of the Ecto-1 sliding through the field and then going down that main street and that side seat that slides out with the proton pack flying out. Kids are not going to do that, okay? Kids, millennials today sit and look at their phones.
Whoa! You just went there.
I did go there.
You went there.
The whole trope around the kids band together and conquer the adults worked in the 80s because kids actually left the house in the 80s, okay? I mean, I joke. I joke about that.
Do you?
I do. My main concern with it is that it's so overdone, and Stranger Things is the one that overdid it. I don't think Stranger Things is run it into the ground because you had to have Bob Bob and the sheriff and all the people get together on it. You had Steve and all them get together on it. But the whole kids don't need the adults, and the adults just shake their heads at, wow, how ingenious these kids are, like a Home Alone kind of thing. I just totally hope they don't go in that direction.
But we don't know that they're going in that direction.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. I hope that they don't. My hope is that they built this to give the movie a Stranger Things vibe, to suck younger people in, just like Halloween Horror Nights has done, right? They brought in Stranger Things to get younger folks. My hope is that they're making this feel like Stranger Things to bring in the younger folks, and that the original 3 or 4, because they should have Zedmore, the original guys all really have a part in this more than it looks like in the movie. Because in the movie, it looks like the kids are just going to find Egon's old stuff and just go to town on it. And that, to me, would be a complete letdown. Well, even more so of a letdown than the Statue of Liberty walking down the street in Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, come on. That wasn't that bad.
It would have completely destroyed everything. That sucker is heavy, okay? The pure physics of it alone.
Quit bringing physics into this and just watch a movie.
Hey, I love Ghostbusters 2. It is Vigo. I love Ghostbusters 2. But I just, when you watch it now, them leaning out of the top and they're playing Your Love. See it, because I can sing, is lifting me higher. When they're doing that, it's kind of cheesy. I just hope this isn't like, hey, look at the kids, they saved the day. I don't need it. They don't need another movie like that.
But we know they're bringing Murray Ackroyd, and we've heard rumors that Moranis, Hudson, and Weaver are all going to be in this movie.
They have to. They have to be. And it can't just be a funny cameo like in Zombieland or something like that with Bill Murray. It has to be a full-on, they play an active part in the story, not just, oh, look, everybody's old now and the kids are taking over, a la Star Wars, right?
Right.
So
the role I think they're going to play is Hudson, Murray, and Ackroyd are going to teach these kids how to use the proton packs. And I think that Paul Rudd is going to play the part of Harold Ramis.
If they're all in it together and it takes all of them to band together to stop whatever it is that's coming, absolutely on board with that kind of thing. But we're going to teach these kids how to use it so that they can then go use it without any adult supervision whatsoever.
Let me tell you.
That sounds so old.
You do, but let me tell you this. When we saw Mark Hamill in Force Awakens,
for 2 seconds.
I fangirled. But dude, if I hear, and you might need to bleep me, but if I hear Dan Ack or Bill Murray say somehow, we came, we saw, we kicked some. If I hear Dan or Bill Murray say that in this movie, fangirling what I did when I saw Mark Hamill in Force Awakens ain't nothing compared to what I'm going to do when I see Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing
compared to what I'm going to do when he says that. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's what I'm saying is there's too much there to make people literally applaud in the theater, where if it just comes down to a bunch of kids, it's not gonna. You can't pull off what Stranger Things did because it was unexpected. Right. This is a franchise. They've built up to this. There's so much expectation. Yeah. That there's really only downside. It's the same thing Star Wars is fallen into, right? And we've talked this before on the show. The culture around this geeky stuff now is there's only downside. You're never going to exceed the expectations. You're only going to meet it. And I just hope that they focus group the heck out of it. So to figure out exactly what to do for everybody.
To bring it back full circle to what we talked about when Ben was on the show just a couple minutes ago.
Sure.
When we were talking about Horror Nights, what was the first thing I said to you and Blair when we walked out of Ghostbusters? That house. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember the first thing you said.
I said, for 30 years of my life, I never thought that I wanted to. But for 30 years of my life, I wanted to walk through that movie scene.
Yeah. And
that house just did it for me.
Well, it's like walking through the set. I mean, it's like literally being backstage or being, in it,
So I'm gonna pose this to you, Adam.
Okay.
I don't know if I can call you as big a Ghostbusters fan as I am, but you're a pretty big one. So I know this pays the bills, and this is gonna be a tough one for you. By what I've seen of Rise of the Resistance, you get to walk onto a Star Destroyer. and you see a legion of stormtroopers.
Yeah, those are photos they've released. Yeah.
Yes. Doing that, or walking through the set of Ghostbusters and getting to be there and see Slimer come up at you, or Dan Aykroyd or Bill Murray comes out there and says, "We came, we saw, we kicked some."
Yeah.
What was the most 1990 Adam Russell? Which one of those makes you jump in your skin more?
If you're talking the actual experiences themselves, it will be Rise of the Resistance, because the scale is there.
Right.
What makes Rise of the Resistance so impressive is, yes, the content is fantastic, and the ride systems are something where you don't really understand how what you're doing is happening, but it's the scale of it. And when you're going through a queue, basically, not a queue, but like a narrow hallway like Halloween Horror Nights makes you do, it was a great experience overall. And I'm not saying that it wasn't, but it's not to scale. Everything's not the way you saw it in the movie. Everything's not the same. You're having to... The jump scares are the reason you're there, and your head's always on a swivel, and your attention's being diverted. But the fact that you can stand there in that bay, that landing bay, and just take it in for a few minutes.
Yeah.
You're not hurried through, and you just get to stand there. And then after that, you still get another thing that you just can't believe that you're doing. That to me, the experience makes it better. Now, I will say, to be close enough to things that you can actually touch them, like when I fist bumped the Ghostbuster the last time we walked it through. Okay, I geeked out a little bit. It's just a dude. I know it's just a dude who got hired to stand there and mouth that line that you said. But, it's those kind of things where 1990s Adam was like, oh my gosh, I fist bumped a Ghostbuster, even though you didn't really, come on.
Right. But what was the line, Adam? What was the line?
I'm not going to say it. Because they each in their own way, I think, bring something to it that the other one can't handle.
We saw.
Anyway. We conquered. There we go.
But you're the guy that says, Rammer, Jerry, Yellowhammer, give me a heck, Alabama, aren't you?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Very true. I should be that guy, too.
We just beat the heck out of you.
Well, we haven't in a while.
Well, out of everybody else.
Not Auburn, not LSU. Oh, by the way, who called that? Way back in September. Who called that Alabama would lose to LSU and Auburn?
I did.
Oh, I did, too. But I put it on Facebook. You didn't put it on
You put it on Facebook first. You did say it first. You were first out of the gate with that one, yes. But no,
make sure everybody knows that.
Yeah. I can't wait to Rise, though. I'm excited about one day getting the opportunity to experience that.
By what I've heard, you have a loophole to be able to let you ride Rise, right?
A loophole? What does that mean?
Cast members can't go to Rise, can't go to Hollywood Studios, right?
I mean, you can get in on certain types of tickets, but not everything.
Okay.
Please consult your Blackout website for details.
I can't.
I'm saying that to anybody who's a cast member that might listen.
It's
not a loophole. It's a way to get in, yes, but it's getting up at 4:00 to be there by whatever time to actually get into the virtual queue line. You have to commit yourself to it.
I see no issues with that.
There's just a lot going on this time of year.
Dude, I did Very Merry Christmas Party, stayed till midnight, and then got there for the 6 a.m. open.
Okay.
So I don't want to hear it.
6 a.m. open of what?
For when they were doing the 6 a.m. open of Hollywood Studios.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I've done it before.
You don't want to hear it?
I want to hear it. All right. So there's our going off about Ghostbusters.
Well, I want to know everybody's thoughts, too. I'm serious about this commenting thing. I really do want to know, because we didn't talk this on the live stream. Instead, we talked James Bond and got a lot of thoughts from folks. I want to know thoughts on that trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, comment or call the
down
birth
below.
line or whatever. Hey guys, comment down below, click notification. But I seriously want to know what other people's thoughts are and see if I'm just off the reservation on that one, because from what I've seen, people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm just cautiously optimistic because Hollywood has let me down too many times lately, I think.
You're not even cautiously optimistic. I think you're almost in a You're in the Eric Terry. You are in the Eric Terry realm. Anytime I text Eric something I'm excited about, he sends me that Simpsons meme that goes, meh.
Meh. Yeah.
That's you right now. You are, when I send you the Star Wars link, you're like, meh.
When you send me the what?
Not Star Wars, the Ghostbusters link.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Meh.
We'll see.
Come on!
I didn't see anything. I saw the car and a proton pack. That's it. I didn't see anything else that ties back to the originals. I need to see a little bit of that before I'll be excited.
Okay. He also pulled back, if he pulled back the actual outfit, it said Spangler.
Okay.
We know that that's Egon's.
Mm-hmm. Egon's grandkids are in it, so why wouldn't they see that?
You're impossible, dude.
Sometimes I am, you're right. But Dave, let me give you a little life lesson. If you always lower your expectations, you're either right or very pleasantly surprised 100% of the time.
So what's your expectations for Rise of Skywalker?
I honestly don't know what expectation to form on that one. How is the Emperor alive? I don't know. I honestly have no idea what to even expect.
I know.
Yeah, I know you know Mr. Spoiler. You, quote, accidentally came across the spoiler on YouTube. No one believes that.
I did accidentally find it. I have blocked that YouTube site so I don't stumble on it again.
But you've already seen it, so I mean.
Well, but after that he posts daily new spoilers. So, but I've decided to block that so I don't watch it.
So is he the guy that bought the script for like $50 on eBay?
I'm sure he is.
Wow. It is funny. We have a training class for sensitive information inside the company, and this is the time of year where it comes due, so everybody's taking it around the office. I wonder if they made John take it again. John Boyega.
I bet John Boyega didn't have to take it. So what's funny, if you watched his, he was on Fallon a couple nights ago.
He was, yeah.
And they said, and Fallon said, "Hey, can you not spoil anything?" He said, "Dude, I'm already in enough trouble."
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. I think the Finn spinoff on Disney Plus is probably a dead project now.
Finn's probably going to die at the end of.
But you know what? I'm okay with that. You know why? Because The Mandalorian is so freaking awesome.
You know what I found out today?
What did you find out today?
And Logan actually posted this on I think his personal Facebook. But our friend Logan Seculo, if you don't know. So, do you know... So, The Mandalorian is basically a spaghetti western.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know who plays the body double of The Mandalorian?
No, the body double.
John Wayne's grandson.
Really? Like the stuntman? Like, so when he has to, like, tumble and roll and stuff like that?
Yeah. How spaghetti western can you get?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the Duke's grandson.
That's pretty cool.
Is in a Star Wars western.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I hope we're not letting anybody down by not talking about The Mandalorian. Hey guys, comment down below. Are we letting you down by? I'm serious. Everybody's talking about it. It's just everybody's talking about it.
I Am Geeks talking about it. They talk about Frozen in a Cruise. After we talked about Frozen in a Cruise, I went there, Adam.
You did go.
I love you guys, Ryan, Chris, I love you guys. But you kind of rehashed an old topic. Just saying.
So Dave, how can they reach us on socials if they want to rant at us about calling them out?
At Run Tide Run. And
thanks for leading with mine.
Adam's at Run Tide Run. I'm at DAdams415. I'm at DAdams419. The show is at Not Related Bros on Twitter. Instagram, he's Run Tide Run. I'm DAdams419. Unrelated to Birth on the gram. Adam, what's the phone number if they want to rant on us?
650 UAB show. Didn't have a message this week. Let's have one next week. If we can get 2 voicemails.
2
voicemails this week. In 1 week, what would happen, Dave?
I won't do spoken word for the rest of the year.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Okay. So if you won't do singing and spoken word, I can't wait to see what the third option is. So let's get 2 voicemails in before next week so we can see what happens if he can't sing or talk.
Whoa, I can talk.
Sing or recite lyrics verbally.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
With no musical intonations.
All right, we've done our socials and how to get a hold of the show.
We have. Thank you for recapping that.
So now I'm going to tell you the story of the elf on the shelf.
Here's the story of an elf named Belle.
I can't finish the lyrics. This is hurting me. This is really hurting me.
Continue your story.
All right. So we are recording an interview that it took us 6 months, no lie, 6 months to get. And you'll hear that interview next week. I'm not going to tell you who it's with.
Oh my gosh. And I have to say, we're not going to say yet. We're going to let you guys find out when we drop it. But I literally hung up from that call, went in there, me and Blair were like, anyway,
did you really?
We did. Yeah.
Wow. You're a dork.
We are a dork. Collectively.
Love you guys, but you're dorks. All right. So during that interview, for those that missed the live stream last night, by the way, Monday nights, 8:30, 9 o'clock Central, Adam and I do a live stream on Facebook. If you're not part of the Facebook, like the Facebook, just like the Unrelated Birth on Facebook.
Just do it.
And you'll see every Monday night between 8:30 and 9 o'clock Central Time, we go live on Facebook, and we have a good time. Last night we had a great time.
Yeah, it was a good one.
We went for almost 40 minutes.
It's like a whole extra episode.
I know. We usually only go for 20.
Yes.
But anytime that our listeners want to interact with us, we'll stay as long as we can. So, anyway. So, my wife is out of town this week. I'm playing Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
So, this interview that we got tonight, Adam was right to be giddy. I mean, these people have 1 million followers on Twitter. 500,000 likes.
It's 2 million, 2 million subscribers, almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
and between their 3 channels, almost 2 million subscribers. So
no, that's on the one channel, dude.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, yeah. What do you dude, give me some credit.
Oh, you got a big one. So, big deal. So I told my girls, I said, all right, I'm going to put Doc McStuffins on. And usually they'll sit there and just watch the episode. And I was okay. About halfway through this interview, I hear just bloody murder screaming from Ellie. And I thought, oh, crap. Crap wasn't the word I thought in my head, but I can't say the word that I thought in my head because Adam would have to bleep, and we're trying to do as much post-prod as we're trying to get that out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ellie comes downstairs. I hear her just crying, stomping down the stairs. I mute my mic. I text Adam and said, I'll be a minute. Ellie pops into the room, screaming her head off. Daddy! Harper touched Belle! For those that don't know, Belle is Ellie's elf. Elf on a shelf. For those that don't have kids that are too old or don't do the elf, humans can't touch the elf because the elf flies back every night to see Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And if a human touches said elf, the human or the elf loses its magic.
And can't fly anymore. So, Harper, the 2-year-old, touched Belle. Mm.
The worst thing that can happen to a 5-year-old's life at Christmas. So I told Ellie, I said, don't worry, honey. When I'm done with this interview, I'll Google ways to revive the elf's magic. Which
one, by the way, is to lay it down and put cinnamon around it. Just FYI.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
That's straight from Emma, so that's a reliable source.
Okay, that's good to know in case it ever happens again. So, I told her, I said, honey, this is a very important interview. I'll come upstairs in a minute. This is going to be done in just a minute. She, of course, wipes her tears away and says, okay, Daddy, I trust you. So the pressure's on me at this point. We get done with the interview. Very, very good interview. I think Adam and I did a very professional job with this one. Unlike most of our other interviews. So I go upstairs. I asked Ellie and Harper, I said, well, what happened? Well, a little backstory. Last night, Belle got into Ellie's popcorn. And so there was popcorn all around Belle. my puppy, who's now a year old on Monday. Apparently, I misjudged his height because Max not only got up and got the popcorn, he got Belle. And I found out that Harper, loving her sister and knowing how much that elf means to her sister, Harper ran and grabbed Belle from Max's mouth, touching the elf. To which that destroyed Ellie's world. And in grabbing the elf, also pulled her shirt off of her. So I did some quick thinking. Didn't Google, didn't pull anything. Go ahead and give me Dad of the Year award right here. Christmas time Dad of the Year award. I said, Ellie, after hearing that story, I have heard on good authority that Santa tells his elves that if it was an act of selfless saving, selfless kindness, the elf can keep their magic. Harper did an act of selfless kindness and saved Belle from Max's mouth. So therefore, Belle still has her magic. And instead of yelling at your sister, Ellie, you need to go and give Harper a big hug and say thank you.
It's true.
Who is Dad of the Year?
Dun, 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 dun.
So, I therefore saved Christmas, and Belle is now hiding in a new spot. And I also told her, I said, and daddies and mommies have one magic day a year where they can touch the elf and put the clothes back on her.
That's true, yeah.
And this was the one exception. So we can't do this ever again. So don't touch her ever again. But this was the one night of year where we can touch the elf.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you get that one night a year.
I know.
It's a very big exception that I'm sure that's used across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Good job, man.
There you go. Dad of the Year award, Dave Adams. Golden Voice of the South, Human Jukebox, right here.
Boom.
Wait, I can't be the Human Jukebox for 2 weeks.
Sorry.
I can't even use that nickname.
Well, you can. The jukebox is just unplugged.
I shouldn't have made that bet.
Yeah, well, you did, so too bad. And just wait till everybody starts giving their ideas for a punishment if you do sing, because you've technically already done it once. And there's one magic time a year where you can sing one time when you're not supposed to. And you've used that.
So. I have, haven't I? All right. Well, guys, we say it every week, and we do mean it. We love you guys. I mean, you spend an hour out of your week listening to me and Adam rant about crap. I mean, this week was all about geeky stuff. And we appreciate the fact that you spend an hour out of your week. Hey, next week, guess what? It's all going to be about Star Wars. And we might have... you know what? We might have a special episode dropping next week, too.
Yeah, we will.
We will?
We already talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah. We're going to have 2 Facebook Lives next week, too, aren't we?
Yeah, one on our Monday and one for the movie.
And Thursday night.
Yeah. I
go see the movie at 9:50 Eastern, or 9:50 Central.
Oh, I go at 6:45 Eastern.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we got then... Holy crap, that's 5:45. I'll have to go Facebook Live without you then.
I will know everything before you even sit down.
Will you? Because I know everything already.
That is true. Yeah, I forgot about the spoilers.
I made it real nice. All right, guys. Well, we say it every week. We do appreciate you and, listening to us. And we do love each and every one of you. And hope you all enjoyed our ranting about Ghostbusters and Central Florida Comic-Con. Guys, we will talk to y'all next week. And even before then, we'll talk to y'all on the Facebook Live on Monday night. So, guys, love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Merry Christmas.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Technically, this is the end, the post-credits scene, where Olaf is basically telling everybody what happened in Frozen 2. So technically, it's not part of the movie. So technically, I can sing in this part of the movie.
So here's what happened in our podcast. You're not allowed to sing.
Fine.